We presented to the President the proposed Philippine Export Development Plan, which DTI formulated pursuant to the Export Development Act of 1994. As already mentioned, this defines the country's export thrusts, strategies, programs, and projects. And we sought the President's approval, which we got, with just a couple of additions to the plan. The PDP aims to address challenges that we face in various sectors of the economy, particularly those sectors that are involved in or potentially could be involved in exports. And our proposal is actually in line with the Philippine Development Plan, which was earlier released by the administration. This Export Development Plan will capitalize on export growth opportunities, considering market trends and the available or existing competencies in the Philippines among our industries. It seeks to undertake an industry development-centric approach to make the Philippines a major player in the global economy and achieve sustainable development goals. In the past, we simply do policies at the macro level that applies to the whole economy. But what we're proposing in the Export Development Plan is industry-level intervention or policy issuances that will support sector development. And even beyond that, we're also proposing firm-level interventions because we believe that we need to work closely with individual firms to be able to take care of their needs as they venture into potential export business for their companies. The export competitiveness of the Philippines lies in the competitiveness of the firms themselves. It's not, we say competitiveness of the country, but actually the competitiveness is being materialized or realized at the firm level. That's why the firm level intervention. So we must develop reliable, design-driven, technology-driven, sustainable, and forward-looking exporters to become or to make the Philippines an agile export powerhouse. As you may know, the Philippines is lagging behind our neighboring countries when it comes to export. We can consider ourselves as laggards currently. So this plan will help us uplift the the Philippines' performance in exports. It may not be to yet match the levels achieved by the more progressive neighbors that we have, but it will certainly improve the volume of our exports. The plan outlines 3 strategic actions to develop the export clusters. 1, addressing production constraints. 2, developing a strong, innovative export ecosystem. And 3, increasing the Philippines' mind share in the global market. So before we can export, we need to produce. So the first challenge is helping industries produce products that can compete in the market. This requires input of technology, it requires raising of productivity, training of the people that they employ, etc. Now, you have the firm. A firm does not operate in a vacuum, so you need an ecosystem to support it. Then the ecosystem will involve, for example, the recent one example is the recently ratified RCEP, which came into force last Friday, June 2, because that's part of the export ecosystem, because that opens up certain countries for exports of the Philippines with reduced or preferential tariff. So it become more competitive vis-a-vis exports coming from competing countries. Okay. Now, developing this ecosystem is a major task that involves various agencies of the government. So we're working with them, including our own customs, for example, the rules that they have, that exporters have to observe, and the requirements for exporting coming from some regulatory agencies. And then the third strategy is increasing the Philippines' mind share in the global market. What do we mean by this? We need to raise the awareness of our target markets about the export firms and the exportable products available from the Philippines. This will involve doing promotional efforts like what we've done with the presidential visits. It's raising awareness about the Philippine investment climates, the potential businesses that can be pursued in our country by foreign investors. Expos, participation in expos, for example, is one way to promote our exports, or holding trade fairs. So those are the three strategies. Now, there are many firms in the country that we need to help. So we need to stratify them so we're able to focus on those that require more significant support over others. That's why we came up with three classifications. One, the breakers, and then those that are at the crest, and those that are creating ripples. Okay? The ones that are breakers are those who have already broken into the international market. So they are able to already export their products in sizable volume. So most likely they won't help, or they won't need any more specific support from the government. So we'll be there providing them the regular support in terms of trade facilitation, the right regulations, etc. Then there are those that are cresting, about to break but still at the crest. These are those that have shown export capability and have actually done transactions with foreign buyers, like animation, game development, software development. Okay, we will provide them bigger support at the firm level compared to those who are already breakers. And then there are those that are still at the ripple stage, small waves, creating small waves. These are the firms that are in high-tech industries, and these are the ones that will get the significant amount of firm-level support. So the PEDP, or Philippine Export Development Plan 2023-2028, sets a clear direction and pragmatic approach for transforming the country's export landscape. By promoting investments, facilitating trade, and developing key industry clusters, the plan aims to achieve substantial export growth and establish the Philippines as a producer of high-value products and services. Now, there are 4 priority industry clusters that we have identified. These are also reflected in the Philippine Development Plan. First is the industrial, machinery, and transport cluster. Included here are firms in the semiconductor subsector, those that are going into electric vehicles, and those that will process our mineral ores into semi-finished or finished products. And then there is the second cluster, the technology, media, and telecommunications. This is where the IT, BPM subsector comes in. These are the BPOs, and they are the ones that are in the technology field, telecom, and support for digital economy, like data centers, will fall under this cluster, as well as telecommunications. And then the third cluster is the health and life sciences cluster. This is the cluster where we will aspire to be self-sufficient in the country's supply of pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and healthcare services. Okay. There's a fourth cluster, which is not necessarily export-oriented, unlike the first three I mentioned. This is the modern basic needs of a resilient economy. Included here are all other sectors of the economy that will provide us, for example, food security, energy security, and other basic needs to make our economy or our country resilient. Okay, so that's essentially is an overview of the Philippine Export Development Plan for 2023-2028.
Thank you for watching Politico TV. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more videos.